Hello, TVR Universe, and welcome to this week's episode where I will be going with you on the journey of showing you the best way to think about your video psychology. You're probably thinking, what do you mean by that? Well, basically the value today that you'll be getting is I'm going to be taking you step by step on the best way to make your videos. I will be showing you sort of how I edit them, but more importantly, the psychology I want you guys to think about, how to grab people's attention, how to keep your viewers' attention, more importantly, and how to make people want to come back to watch more of your content. I'm Dave from TVR Creators, and if you're interested in learning about video and YouTube, smash the like button. Let's crack on with the value. So the first thing I want to talk about is the hook. I'm going to go to cam 2 for that. And as you can see in the hook, you'll be able to see, if it loads up. Right, so basically this is the video that I made. I believe this is the video I made a little while ago on lighting. You probably saw it actually this week at the time of this live stream on looking at studio light and natural light. And so I'm just using this as a template, a bit of a Blue Peter, if you will. And I just want you to think of your hook. So basically, for those of you that don't know, the hook is the very beginning of the video, the first 7 to 16 seconds where, boom, it grabs the attention of your viewers and hopefully allows them to stay. So you want something really quick, you want to get on the value, you want to say just hello, maybe keep it brief. But more importantly, if someone's clicked on the video of your video because they like the thumbnail or the title, then you want to grab their attention. So rather than, going on and on and on, you basically want to sorry about that, looking at the wrong camera. You basically want to grab their attention. So it's really important that the hook is really quick. And if someone's clicked on the thumbnail or, like the thumbnail or like the title, basically you want to grab their attention. So what you want to do is not be, hello, my name's blah, blah, blah. You want to, bam, get on the value. Or more importantly, tell them what the video's about. So they know for definite that this video is for them, because that's massively important. So bear that in mind. So really, when you look at the beginning of your video, see here, I've literally gone like this. Hang on.
Hello guys, in this week's episode I'm going to be showing with you the differences between natural light and studio light.
And literally that is my hook straight away. And if you can make that as short as possible, that's really important, because if that grabs the attention of your viewers, that's just really important, because it grabs them in and hopefully they'll stick around for a little while. And we get to some cool little tactics and tips on how to keep the audience attention throughout your video. If you're getting value from this video so far, smash the like button. So the next thing I want you to think about is, okay, how can you edit a hook? It's quite simple really. For those you do in a head video, which is what I do on Tuesdays, go and check them out after this live stream. It's basically, could be just you talking, it could be you just like, hey guys, like you've just seen me do. I'll show it again.
Guys, in this week's episode I'm going to be showing with you the differences between natural light and studio light.
Or you could have something really silly happen that grabs people's attention. I know you could fall over, or you could maybe have the end result of a video. If you're doing a video about baking and stuff like that, you could have the oh look, today we're going to be showing you the best way to make a Victoria sponge, and people are like, oh, this looks interesting, and that's grab their attention. And then from that, you want to think about, more importantly, how you keep your viewers, how you keep their attention, if you will. So you want to keep them engaged, and then from that your video will play, and you want to give them value as soon as possible, so no longer than 7 to 16 seconds, and then from there give them value. Don't talk about how your day's been, don't go through that. You can do that, but I would highly recommend you just get on with the video. You give them the value. So if your gaming channel, it's straight into the walkthrough. If it's cooking channel, you're starting to show them how to bake that particular cake or make that whatever you're making. Or if you're a musician, it's straight into the song, because people nowadays, they have very, our attention span is becoming less and less, and it just wants to grab their attention, because let's face it, people will go, because things like TikTok and stuff like that has made people's attention so much shorter nowadays, because people just want to watch stuff for 30 seconds and off they go. And that's why shorts is a really good way to grab people's attention. Now you could use use short videos to, you know, maybe advertise a video or talk about whatever the topic is. And that, I find, is a very good way of giving traction to your channel. But we're going off topic a little bit. So getting back to the video then, pull it in, Dave, rein it in. So if you're thinking of the value of the video, you're giving the content, you talked about what you're talking about. When you watch your video, so say for example now, I'm on my video and I'm thinking, and I do this all the time, when I'm editing my videos, I'll go, right, so let's just find you a point in the video. So I'm talking for a bit.
Initially when the light's going down or the sun's rising, and that's really when you can emphasize a certain scene or mood for the shot that you're going for. So that's something to bear in mind. Obviously when you're indoors, as you can see now,
now this is where I would highly recommend B-roll. I think it's really, really important actually. So what I do when I'm editing a video, if I'm editing a video and I start to think, you know, my eyes are getting a bit bored, or I'm starting to think, right, I'm getting a bit bored of this, smash that like button. Absolute value. I would highly recommend using B-roll because it just keeps the attention of the eye of the viewer. This is something that not everybody does, and a lot of the pros do it, but not all of them do. This is something I would highly recommend. So if you're, say, watching this clip of me and it's been going on for
a certain scene
30 seconds a minute,
shot that you're going
and then
for,
from
that's
that
to bear in
you
mind.
get B-roll, and as you can see here,
as you can see now,
there's a bit of B-roll, and straight away that just grabs the attention. Now, if for whatever reason you want to know where to get B-roll, there's loads of websites that you can find, or that you can clip in and throw into your video. Or personally, I think there's nothing wrong with making your own. So if you're, again, making I'm just got the must have cake on the mind, but if you're making a video about cake, you want to film some really cool B-roll close-ups of the cake, you mixing the cake, you sort of like messing around in the kitchen. It just sort of brings a bit of humour to it. I think that's really important as well, because people like a bit of fun. They don't like stuff too serious most of the time, unless they've purposely searched for that. And, you know, it's just a great way to think, oh, this is a really cool video, and it makes it more engaging. That's the right word, isn't it? It makes it much more engaging because, you know, and I find if you can put in as much B-roll as possible, now don't just mean just constant B-roll, but if you're like, you know, talking for 30 seconds, B-roll, talk for 10 seconds, B-roll, and sort of mix it up a bit. And that's just a really good way to, and you should find on your YouTube analytics that the graph will show that people stayed around longer when you've added in B-roll. Now, another thing you can do actually, you obviously want subscribers, so as well as B-roll, sometimes I'll drop in this. Have a look.
Great day, but just bear in mind that
I'll drop in my little subscribe. Let's just hover over that a second. So I would just, you know, throw in my little subscribe button maybe after about a minute. Or the other thing, a little power tip, if you notice on your attention that you start to see a dip, that'd be a really good time to throw in a subscribe button, or a card to a different video. Perhaps there's a video that might more suit the person who's perhaps getting bored, and that just gives them, you know, keeps them on your channel, keeps them engaged, and think, oh, actually this video is not quite for me, but actually this other video the same person's made could be more for me, and they will go after that. It will damage your video a little bit, but at least you've kept them on your channel. And the people that carry on your B-roll and editing skills
even
will keep
natural
them
light, you can do some
engaged. Now, the other thing I use, I'm going to try and find an example of this, is here, over further along on the video. So watch this a second, see if you notice it.
Low light and stuff like that, depending on the mood you're trying to set. Bear in mind.
Now, something I do a lot, and I've found it takes longer to edit and it is more time consuming, but it does work. It's shown in your graphs on your YouTube Studio app, and it's just more engaging for people to watch. And if you haven't got B-roll, or you think I want to break it up a bit and just keep it visually engaging, I highly recommend just zooming yourself in. You don't have to do that in filming, you can literally do that in editing, and you can just bring yourself in and try and edit it in. So if you like making a little joke about something, you could perhaps zoom yourself in, zoom yourself back out again. I know it sounds really silly, but just look what looks more engaging, me talking for 10 seconds.
If you want a professional, you're going to need that studio light, but ultimately natural light is free and it's a great tool to use.
Or watch me for a few seconds, and then the camera,
like
it looks like
light
you've got different cameras.
Depending on the mood you're trying to set. Bear in mind
and that really, honestly, it really does work. It makes it, and I think literally 99% of people would agree that that is more visually engaging. So I'm going to say it again, bear it in mind. That's becoming a thing now. We should start hashtagging that on YouTube. Oh, that's brilliant. I'm just having a brief look. See if there is anyone on. Hello, welcome Sam, welcome live on TVR Creators, welcome, and welcome Brad as well. Hello, evening, and here he is, look, welcome. If you have any questions, I'm going to get to that in a moment actually, as that is the next part of tonight's live stream. I'm just going to make sure on the right camera. Right, so if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the the live chat. And I've also got a few questions because early in the week I asked you guys to throw me some questions about video or YouTube. I've got 3 questions, but as I just said, feel free to put them in the live chat. Now, the first question was, drum roll. Perhaps that was a really bad. That's better. I need some sort of sound effect. What I would highly recommend is the first question. Should you put in time stops in your videos? That's an interesting question. I'm going to say no. Now, don't shoot me for this. I know a lot of you use them, and I know a lot of you say, oh yeah, if you want to look around the video, and that's fine. But I personally feel that's better for much bigger YouTubers, when it doesn't matter so much about growing your channel because you've got a million subscribers and all the rest of it. I think that's better. Or if you're just doing maybe a soundtrack and you want people to go around. But I think if you want to really grow your channel, you really want to keep people engaged, you want to keep people on that video, you don't want them bouncing all over the place, because if you start to do that, then people will lose interest, and just by bouncing around, that actually hurts your video, and then YouTube will show that video to less people, which hurts your channel, and your channel will grow less. And you see where I'm going at? So I would highly recommend you don't do that until you're much bigger. But that's just my opinion. But if you think about it, it just sort of makes sense. So sorry if you don't like the answer. Right, the next question is, how long should a video be? Now, this might sound silly, but that's a really good question. And the simple answer is as long as it needs to be. So if you're making a shorts video, it might be 30 seconds. If you want to get more in depth on a video, or you're doing a live stream, it doesn't have to go on for hours, but if you've got across what you want to talk about, it could be 20 minutes, half an hour, but don't drag it out for the sake of it. Don't be like, right, I need to make this half an hour, because then you'll drag out a video unnecessarily, and it will just lose value, and you'll lose engagement. And this is ultimately what I want you guys to think about: the video psychology, the psychology of your audience. I want you to think, how can you keep people engaged? And if you're making a video longer than it needs to be, and you're just waffling about the same thing for 10,000 years, then you're going to lose your viewers. So bear that in mind. Right, the third question is, when is the best time to use B-roll? Now, I've just been talking about B-roll actually, and I'm going to give you this little power tip, right? There is no right or wrong, apart from you should definitely use B-roll, especially if you're doing head videos or tutorial videos, because it makes your videos more engaging. But the best time to use them is when you're editing your video. This is what I do. I have a very short attention span, as some of you who know me well may know. And as soon as I start to think I'm getting bored, or I start to waver, or start like I'm not quite as focused, bam, with the B-roll. As soon as I start to lose focus, I change the camera angle, or I zoom in. If I start to lose focus, I throw in a subscribe button. Because those little things, they just sort of wake you up a bit, or they re-grab the viewer's attention. So if you try to think like that, so if you're losing interest, in the nicest possible way, it's quite likely that your viewers are going to lose interest before you do, because obviously you should be proud of your work. And obviously you're going to get your core fans that are going to watch your content, but humans are humans, and at the end of the day, they're going to get bored before you do. So if you're starting to get bored, they're definitely getting bored. So I'd basically say that's the best time to throw in B-roll, or a call to action, as they like to call it here on YouTube, that sort of thing. So I hope that answers your question. And what's really cool about these questions actually, that you guys will be sending in on Instagram and Twitter, feel free to send me an inbox at any point, and that your question could come on next week if you're watching this on the replay. And if you're getting value from this question, smash the like button. And just briefly actually also, what's really cool is, it might sound really daft, but you might have been thinking, I want to answer that question, and I might have just literally just answered it. So that's something else to think about. Okay, so we're getting on to the next part of the video. I'm just looking at my notes here. There's a lot I want to talk about. So we talked about B-roll. I don't think we need to go over that again. That's sort of answered in those really cool questions. If you're getting value so far, smash the subscribe button, share this video with family and friends. Okay, right. Next part I want to talk about is if you know to get... okay. All right, so we're going to talk about call to action then. So this is a really interesting thing to think about, actually. When's the best time to use call to actions or end cards? And think about the psychology. So you've done your hook, which should be at the beginning of the video. You've done your value, which is the bulk of the content, the video. And at the end, you want to use end card. It's really simple. Just, you know, when you're doing the last final parts of uploading your videos, add in end cards. And I would highly recommend using a call to action end card of best for viewer. So YouTube will know the types of videos that most people are watching, and they will pick out the best video within your work that YouTube thinks they may like, and 9 times out of 10 they're probably right. And then I would also recommend the second end card being maybe a playlist that you want people to watch. So think about playlists as well. Maybe think of series when you're making your video, or if there's a, you know, if say for example I'm making a video about audio and you made another older one that's maybe just as good, you might want to link them onto that. Keeps you on your channel, and it's just a good way, because ultimately YouTube wants people to stay on the platform, and that's something to definitely bear in mind. Right, so think about how to end the video, and then how to end the video. I would say the best way to end that is maybe you might do a little shout out like, thanks for watching. If you got value from today's video, like and subscribe, and then see you next week type of thing, because I think it's really important not to drag that out, especially in the early days. Don't be like, yeah, I mean, I'll hold my hands up. I've done it loads of times, and you will see a big dip. You know, if you go on and on like, yeah, check us out here, check us out there, blah, blah, blah. See me next week. Yeah, I've got my uncle coming. You know what I mean? Like, just, you know, if you really want to grow your channel, literally be like, thank you for watching. Check out our next videos. Check out the end cards. See you next week. And that's literally all you need to do. And most people, if they like your content, if they got that far in the first place, they like your content. So there's quite a high likelihood that they will check out your content. I'll be back with you in 1 second. So I just had a bit of a brain fart there, excuse me. If you want to support the brand, feel free to subscribe. Check us out at any point. I know I've literally just said that, but bear with me. But check out our merch. We've got cool t-shirts and mugs. I can't go through a single video without mentioning the M50 because I love that camera. I'm just going to check the the live chat. Oh yeah, I absolutely love the M50. I won't go on about it now, but I love it. But honestly, if you really want to support any of your favourite YouTubers, this goes to you core viewers, or for those you that have, I'm sure there's other creators that you enjoy watching. If you honestly want to support them just by watching from start to end without skipping or getting bored, obviously, because if you like their content, that tells YouTube that that's good bit of content, and they will show that to more people, and that helps creators grow. So that is honestly the best way you can help any creators, not just me, but any creators that you like. Okay, so that's some of the things I want to talk about today, just giving a bit of a rough step-by-step of some of the psychology. I could talk about this all night, but I appreciate you want to, you know, take that on board and maybe process it. And feel free to comment below how you process your videos, how you edit them, any little things I might have missed that I perhaps could talk about in another video. Please feel free to, or if you have any questions, put in the comments below. And if you want to throw in some questions for next week, inbox me. And you know what? It's coming home. England are going to win. Oh, yes. It's coming home. It's coming. Eggie's coming home. It's coming home. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, guys, have a fantastic weekend. It's coming home because you guys rock.